goes by the name Jarecka.
Karen, you mentioned the referee Juan Carlos Rios Rivera. I was just speaking to him before the match. This is his 5th and final Olympic Games in Tokyo.
Well, many congratulations to him. Well known, well liked on the circuit. And it was his birthday yesterday.
No kidding.
I never kid.
I think anytime the FIE selects you to go to the Olympics, it's your birthday. Nice repose there by Jarecka to start things off.
Choi patiently trying to close the distance up. Jarecka giving up ground in order to keep it long, but she's inside her warning zone now.
Another repose by Jarecka.
Jarecka here, just pushing back a little bit now. She doesn't need to take a risk though. After about 30 seconds of fencing, and with Choi behind, if passivity's called, she's the one that's going to get the yellow card. I say 30 seconds of fencing, I mean 30 seconds of fencing since the last hit. And we're just coming up to a minute now, and there you go. Straight away, passivity's called. P yellow will go to Choi here.
So Choi must be a little skittish about attacking because both times she has, she's been parried and hit.
Well, I think she's taken that one for the team to be fair, because now she's inside the final minute. There's no chance of her getting another card for passivity. But it does mean that the card remains for the rest of the remaining 8 legs. And look, it's been a while, hasn't it, since we've talked, or had a chance to talk about any kind of fencing. Just a bit half-hearted there. Just to remind you, the way the passivity rule works is that if you're trailing, you're the one that gets carded for no hits, effectively. No hits being scored within a minute. If you're level on score, both teams get carded. And you get one friendly warning, that's the yellow one. Then it will be a red passivity card. You can get 2 of those. After that, it's game over for the fencer, who gets the 4th call for passivity. They see this one out. And Jeff, will the P yellow and the score being 3-0 tell the story of the rest of this gold medal match?
I think so. The combination of the two is going to definitely make Korea have to come back here and be more aggressive. Choi was a little bit unlucky there. At 2-0, she went for a toe touch and definitely had Jarecka beat, and she just missed and glanced off the piste, and Jarecka was able to score.
Well, it's Song Sera up for Korea, who's going to need to try and plug the gap, and she's up against Ewa Trzebinska. You see the athletes coming onto the piste wearing the COVID protective masks underneath or on their face, and when they put their fencing masks on, they're allowed to take off the surgical masks. Those are the protocol, or that is the protocol for fencing for it to take place here in Kazan and last week in Budapest, and of course we've got the final foil qualifier in Doha coming this weekend. You don't have to wait long.
Song there with a straight attack against a much longer fencer, Trzebinska, who was able to just step back and get the double.
Nice.
Beautiful toe touch there. In order for the shorter fencer Song to get inside Trzebinska's distance, she has to use her footwork and ideally take the blade. Otherwise, Trzebinska could just step out of distance.
Yeah, you can see the height difference there very clearly as well. But Song is a pommeler. You can see that her hand is not as tucked up into the guard as Trzebinska. She's got a straight grip, which just gives her a little bit of extra reach in exchange for a slight loss of accuracy. Calling for time now. They don't want the passivity call to come. They need a hit scored, and that's what happens when you're forced into one direction. You have to go for it, and sometimes you open the door. Trzebinska patient and taking another hit for the Polish team.
And Song wasn't expecting that because she was pushing and looking to set something up, and Trzebinska just saw an opening, took the blade, and scored. And again, as Song is preparing and thinking about what she's going to do, she really just wasn't prepared for the surprise attack by Trzebinska coming right now. The referee called halt. And it's the same Song, so to speak, Karim, as Song is preparing. Trzebinska sees an opening, just makes a straight attack. Right there.
Well, time runs out here. Another 4 for the Polish team and 2 for Korea. Jeff, I don't see this changing much unless Korea kind of jump in and start closing the gap up pretty soon.
That's true. And you saw Trzebinska there. Usually you see the shorter fencer try to take the blade and to get inside. Here it was Trzebinska when she saw an opening, grabbed Song's blade and scored 3 times in that leg.
Well, here we go for leg number 3, and the first outing for Renata Knapik-Mizga and Kang Young Mi. Spotting some signs of issues again, technical issues with the video replay system. They're going to have to reset that. engineer working away furiously on that. And while they do that, I'll just remind you that Doha Grand Prix men's foils coming up at the weekend. It's been a rather long competition normal to basically fit in with all the protocols for COVID, but no team event at the Foil Grand Prix in Doha, so it'll all get done and dusted on Sunday. Technical error fixed. Some discussion with the fencers, not sure what Ilya Benatsev has said to them, but they're back underway here. Leg number 3 of the gold medal match between Poland and Korea.
Kang pushing and looking for an opening. And that is a beauty by Knapik-Mizga, because Kang got inside, Knapik took her up in a preem parry and made the riposte from close quarters. Kang does all the work, set it up beautifully, and Knapik-Mizga was able to score a double. I think she got hit in the mask into her ear. Kang going over to apologize, see how she's doing. I'm so sorry. It was an accident. And again, Kang does all the work, sets up the attack, and you could see Knapik-Mizga had a little room to take the retreat and is able to score the easy double, which is a huge advantage for her.
Was that the remise from Kang as well?
It was the remise from Kang, too.
Well, we're going to see more of this. We've seen all 3 of the fencers from each team, and Poland have already got a massive advantage here. No, it's only 10-4 and the target score is 45, and we're only in leg 3, but the shorter Koreans are having to hunt down the taller Poles, and the Poles are just sitting back and waiting.
And as you can see, the shorter fencer Kang, in order to get inside Knapik-Mizga's distance, takes the blade, but she wasn't able to score there. And she was able to score there on the remise, but Knapik-Mizga was just waiting for the 4 riposte. Watch here. Whatever. It's double action, and so far Kang has not been able to get the single light at the end of the piece. She's working very hard, but hasn't been able to do it so far. Again, same thing. Yeah, Knapik-Mizga is playing this perfectly. She's keeping just the right distance where she's able to score a double. I believe that's the fourth one in this leg.
Oh, very nice.
That's even better than a double.
Stepping back, countering on the inside of the arm, perhaps to the body. But that was all about stepping backwards and opening up the distance and using our height advantage. Time is going to run out on them here. So 6 points for Poland in that leg. 4 for Korea, which is better than they've done so far, but still the gap builds by 2 points. Jeff, is this over already? Is this over already?
I don't think it's over, but as Yogi Berra once said, it's getting late early here. You just don't see Korea able to break through so far in any of the first 3 legs.
Well, how you've managed to get Yogi Berra into a sports commentary?
Well, he's from New Jersey, I'm from New Jersey, so I had to get him in there.
We're underway in leg number 4. Aleksandra Jarecka against Song Sera, and Poland already in a very commanding position here. Dancey footwork from Jarecka. Song Sera patient, pushing her all the way to the back line. Pomela looking for the moment to find the attack, but even though blocks out the counter-action from Jarecka, it wasn't strong enough to land the hit.
That has to be deflating for Song. Jarecka attacked from way out of distance. Song was waiting for it, picked up the parry, didn't score in the riposte, and Jarecka scored in the remise. And this time, Jarecka may be a little bit out of distance again, and Song ducks and is able to get the one-light action.
Got a call from the team box as well to back off, stop attacking. Don't need to attack, we've got the lead, let the Koreans come to you. She waves with an apologetic gesture. Attack fails, they run into each other. No cards coming out. Just unavoidable Korokur.
So Song, as she has to, down by 7, has to push, but Jarecka is very comfortable back there. Whoa.
Jarecka pushing back to open up the distance, and Song losing her feet.
She's forcing the attack a little bit from out of distance, but Song hasn't been able to capitalize on that.
I think she's happy to get to the back line, but when she's there, she doesn't really want to stay there too long.
Nope. And there she did a nice action, did Jarecka. She picked up the blade in counter 6, missed on the riposte, and Song was able to hit. Right there, she missed.
Yeah, so that's because Song got inside distance, making it harder for the taller fence to hit, but that was too far away for Song to start her attack against a much shorter fenceman. You mentioned earlier on, in open piste territory, Jarecka had plenty of room to step away from that.
It's a huge advantage for the longer fencer there. It's easy pickings for her.
Now the referee's going to have a look at this one.
Well, I heard the referee call halt, and that was after the halt. But I will say again, Jarecka gets pushed to the back. She does attack and really open herself up, but Song is not able to take advantage of that.
And you feel that this hit's not going to get given?
Well, I heard the referee call halt and started after the halt, but we'll see what happens. You know, on the video replay, you can't hear sound, so it's a little bit deceiving to the referee.
Good point. I'm not sure. I thought that was a valid touch, but You are the expert.
Formerly the expert.
I think I may have got a bit lucky there. Beauty.
I mean, Song did everything right there. Pushed Jarecka to the end, and she just made a straight attack, and Jarecka was able to counter. I think in that particular situation, she has to take the blade. She went straight, and Jarecka was able to angle her blade and block out the other blade. So
we'll have a weapon test here.
Referee, make sure it's plugged in. Body cord's plugged in. The reel is plugged in. The barrel isn't loose. Bang. It's a good touch. Okay. A lot of action there. Time ran out, and Song tried to throw the kitchen sink there at Jarecka, but Jarecka was waiting for everything she threw at her.
Amazing conversation between the blades. Well, it's a conversation between the tips and the guards, isn't it, by the sounds of things?
I mean, Jarecka was like just simply saying, "You're not going to get through my defense." And
she didn't. Another 4-2 leg in favour of the Polish fencers, and they lead 17-8 as Knapik-Mizga comes on up against Choi. Story of the medals here, albeit in slightly different ways, has all been about the team who gets the lead really having a massive advantage. More so than I have ever seen before in Epee, I have to say. You know, just a one-hit lead, remember?
It could make a big difference. And when you look at such a wide score like this, you just say Korea has to take 1 or 2 per leg and to try to just inch closer. And there Choi went for the leg, went for the toe, missed, and then Knapik-Mizga was able to score. And again, even on the infighting where Choi has an advantage there, she wasn't able to score. You know, Karen, it's amazing. All 3 of the Polish fencers retreat right back to the 2-meter zone. They set up shop there and said, just try to hit me. It's not going to be so easy. They've all been successful. The way I look at it is I wouldn't give up so easily. Maybe make the Koreans fight for it a little bit. They're just retreating right to the 2-meter zone, and they seem more comfortable. They're scoring more touches down there.
Yeah, they seem very happy down there. And Choi Injeong swapping out her weapons there. So Carlos Rios Rivera takes the weapon, gives it to his fellow referee, and then sanitizes his hands. All of these referees are following the protocols to the letter, and there's so much more for them to know and to operate under. The conditions are very different, quite understandably so. But I think you're right, going back to that point about the Poles, as we see here again, Knapik-Mizga just retreating to a warning line. what can the Koreans do apart from what they're trying to do? Push them to the line and then try and get inside distance.
Yes, take the blade, try to get inside. The closer the distance, better for them. And there, Choi tried it, and Knapik picked it up in three, made a riposte that missed, and then hit in the remise. Let's watch. Wow, what a nice touch from in close. So even when in close, the Polish fencers are having the advantage.
Yeah, well, you'd think the shorter fencer would have a little bit more advantage. I mean, to be fair, Choi is a pommeler, so maybe takes a little bit of that advantage away. Don't have the dexterity and flexibility. That's a nice hit, though. Feinting to the high line, and Knapik-Mizga just telling herself that was a bit of a silly move because she had time to move backwards, she had space to move backwards, and she only took one step.
You know what part of it was there? It was the change of speed by Choi. She started slow and then went fast.
There we go, that might be the key that unlocks this Polish door, but 11 hits down, still another minute or so to go in the fifth leg. Single light for the Koreans, and if you're thinking, well, look, are they rushing? Well, they're not rushing. They're absolutely not rushing. But then now, as soon as they went behind, the Koreans had the threat of a P yellow or a passivity card. They've had one P yellow, so the next one will be a red card. They just can't afford to do anything other than go for a hit without a minute ticking away between them.
And I'll say Choi was going for it, but Knapik was able to get a very nice double there. It looked like she was going to get hit, and she pulled it out. Must be exceptionally frustrating for the Korean fencers. They're trying everything possible, and they have this huge advantage when they push the Polish fencers to the end of their 2-meter zone like this, because they can't retreat anymore, and they're still able to get doubles and single lights. Well, she's almost off.
Oh, she has gone off. Just stepped over the back line, and if you move completely out of the field of play, it's a point to your opponent. Time is going to run out here, and the deficit is whopping now, that has to be said. 4 points for the Poles in that leg, and actually 4 points for the Koreans, but that scoreline tells its own story.
We're looking for them to whittle away the Koreans, and Choi fenced very well, but it's only 4-4, so somebody's going to have to make a dent soon.
Well, Trzebinska comes back on for Poland. There's a +2 indicator coming into her second fight, and it's Kang Young Mi who's coming on for Korea. She's on a -2 indicator. And again, height difference is the big thing here. Will Kang have more success in closing the distance and finding a way through Ewa Trzebinska? Back line now. Well, again, Kang had the chance to score there, got hold of the blade, but lefty against righty went to the outside of the body and just missed.
And Trzebinska was waiting and scored again. I'd like to see the Polish try early in the preparation of one of the Polish fencers, attack and preparation, surprise them because they're so ripe for it, but they haven't done it once. They don't have to. And Kang with a change of tempo there, slow start, take the blade, and a fast explosion. So they're going to have to get inside the longer Polish fences with footwork, quicker footwork, and taking the blade, like that.
Change line as well, for me, coming up around to the body. Tried it again, but Trzebinska was ready for that. I don't think he's going to give this hit, he doesn't. Kang's gone past before she landed the hit.
Kang went for an attack to the flank, and Trzebinska was just waiting there, made the parry in their post. Watch. Parry, riposte. And that's what I was talking about there. Finally, on some preparation, they're wide open because the Koreans are singly focused on attacking, and they're very vulnerable to that. And finally, one of the Polish fencers did attack in preparation.
Again.
Trzebinska attacks. Kang was waiting with a pre-riposte missed, and Trzebinska is able to score.
It's very easy to be critical here, but they're doing all the hard work, the Koreans, and then just not executing the final action.
I think they're doing most of the right stuff. I think that the Koreans, the Polish team is just fencing better. They're great right now. No matter what Kang throws at Trzebinska, she's ready, was waiting there for parry riposte. And you can see a little frustration there with Kang, saying, what do I have to do?
Lovely.
And that's...
Bit of second intention there for me, stepping in, drawing out Kang. Steps in, that's fake. Draws out the attack from the Korean, and then circular cease bind to hit on the back. Now Trzebinska decides she's going to come forwards. Look at that.
That's the worst thing for Kang to do in the middle of the piece there, where the longer Trzebinska could step back and see what's coming and still make the counterattack to score.
Still 30-odd seconds to go here, and it looks like we're going to get up to the target score of 30 for the sixth leg. Just as I say that, Kang decides to back off and leave it as is. She only scores 1 point in the sixth leg, as Trzebinska scores 7. And that, I'm afraid, Jeff, looks like that.
That's a problem here, but I would say what's really impressive in this match is the Polish team on their own side of the piece, where they're not able to retreat anymore. They have won the majority of the actions. They just parry everything, and I can imagine the Polish team practices. They just go to the meter line and sit there for 4 hours practicing.
Well, here we go. Final third. Knapik-Mizga comes on for Poland, and Song is on for Korea.
And so Song comes forward, Knapik takes a counter 6-beat attack, and you know it must be frustrating for the Koreans. The biggest advantage for the Polish team is their length. They're so much taller and longer. And the Koreans negate that advantage by pushing them back into their 2-meter zone where they can't use that length anymore. And they're still getting out-hit regularly down there. Song steps forward. Oh, just a straight half lunge to the arm. Song attacks in the open piece, that's not the thing to do against Knapik-Mizga, who just makes a simple counterattack against the one light.
Oh, this is painful to watch. Do you think there's just a little bit of a hangover from all the work, the tremendous work they've done today in order to jump into the top 4?
That's one aspect of it, but I'm really impressed with the Korean juggernaut because they look like a really strong team.
Well, going to finish Olympic qualification as the second highest team behind China.
And there, Knapik-Mizga made an attack. She tried to score, and Song was able to counterattack and hit or riposte.
Oh, Song on a rapid attack. It looked like she'd almost lost her balance, but was able to get out of the way.
Simple double there by Knapik-Mizga.
Playing for the double. Just having a quick look at the clock, both of them. Still 1 minute 19 left, so Song can't just give this away now, and especially if,
yeah, and that's something we expected to see more of as the Koreans come forward looking for something, is just to attack in preparation when they don't expect it.
So another weapon check. Just checking all the wires are connected first. Weapon works, so Song is just going to have to carry on. 18 hit deficit. The little break there is because, quite rightly, Ilya Ignatsev is sanitizing his hands, having handled the Korean's weapon. Well, she showed her game a little early there. The beat attack, the first one failed, and when the second one came, Mizga didn't give up ground and just stuck her arm out. Got another double. No hit given.
And the rules say that you cannot score a touch while falling, which is what happened there, and that's why there's no touch. Well, there should also be a yellow card when you score a touch while falling, but I'm not sure what the referee decided there.
I think she just lost the balance as she was getting the hit. There was nothing deliberate there. She wasn't trying to avoid getting hit. Pretty tough penalty if she was carded for that.
And just a little counterattack by Song.
Just coming off the side of the piece there, so has to give up a metre of ground. And that will do it. Still not quite at the target score, edging ever closer to it. 34 plays 17, so 4 Song in that leg, 6 for Knapik-Mizga. So Knapik-Mizga finishes on a +4 indicators. Done her work for the Polish team. She can be happy with that. Song Sera finishes on a -6 indicator. And on comes Kang for Korea for the penultimate leg, and she starts with a -8 indicator up against Aleksandra Jarecka. Look, you can't throw the towel in.
You can't throw the towel in. We've seen very big comebacks, but it really looks like an uphill battle here.
Well, no hit given here, and now, yeah, video referral called. Let's have a look at this replay here, Jeff.
There's the parry, the riposte, no, and there's the remise. There's no body contact, and the fencers hadn't switched their position on the piece. That should be a good touch.
Watch this. Watch the hit now from Jarecka on the left. Where did it go? in between her legs.
Amazing, amazing.
I think that should count.
Let's just see if there's any body contact here. That's the only thing that it could be. No. And I don't think so.
If that's not given, I would want to know why. I wouldn't challenge the referee. He's having a really good look at the video, and I'm trying to just have a look at him talking to his colleague. This is Ilya Renatsev on floor duty at the moment. And let's see what the call is. No hit given. I really want to know why that is, but I'm absolutely convinced that he's correct, because he looked at the video a number of times, had a discussion with his colleague Rios Rivera, and these guys know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, it looked like Kang had drawn Jarecka out, made a parry post no, and Jarecka was able to score in the remise. And once again, Kang throws the kitchen sink, and Jarecka makes a parry and a riposte. Here comes the attack. Actually, it was not a parry push. Jarecka pulled distance, caused Kang to fall short, and then made her new attack and scored.
Well, forced to come out now with time ticking away and closer to another passivity call. And was successful on that occasion, but that's her first hit in the fight.
Kang takes the blade and makes the attack. Jarecka's able to step back and pull the distance. Let's watch. Kang takes the blade, beat attack, and no, and Jarecka just made a counterattack. No parry.
Oh, she's got it in the end. How many goes did they both have at each other? Korea are not catching a break in this fight.
Even on that action, on the infighting, where you think they'd have a little bit of an advantage, that it didn't work, and Jarecka was able to score from the infighting. And Kang with an attack in the open part of the piece, so Jarecka just stepped back and got an easy double touch there.
Yeah, Presta still going for it, the Korean team. They've not stopped working hard right from the very beginning, despite the challenge getting ever bigger. Trying to make an opening, trying to find a way through, trying to create something. It's all Korea, but the hits are awful, pretty much going to the Polish team, and they hadn't realised that they'd finally reached the target score. 6 to Jarecka, 2 to Kang. So Jarecka finishes on a +9 indicator. Amazing performance from her throughout this. Kang, well, sorry to say, she finishes on a -12 indicator. Coming out for Korea, Choi Injeong. And she will face the Polish anchor, Ewa Trzebinska.
And even on that last action there, Kang made a beautiful riposte that missed, because Jarecka was able to angle her body and close out the 6 line at the same time. There's a nice attack by Choi. 20 to go. And on the preparation there, Choi saw a little bit of an opening and caught Trzebinska.
Yeah, Trzebinska still had space to step away then. I suppose when the gap's this big, you can afford the odd lapse in concentration.
Yep, for sure.
Managed to get some clarity on that hit between your legs and why it wasn't given. Another nice hit for Choi.
Yep. What did you find out?
It was attack parry from the pole. The first riposte was no, and then as you said, there was core by Kang, and that's what he
So that was the reason.
Hopefully, yeah.
And it's the right call if there was core.
Another hit for Trzebinska, or first hit in this match for Trzebinska and for Poland, edging closer to the target score of 45 and gold here in Kazan. After all the talk about Olympic qualification, let's not forget there's a gold medal at stake here.
Oh, that's true.
Nice.
Well, Choi is having a nice little run here, 5-1 in the first minute 45, but I don't think there's going to be enough time.
No, I think you're right, but you do wonder why they didn't do this earlier on, and this time Choi calling the referee for a core, bashing of knees as Trzebinska stepped in. Acknowledgement from Trzebinska, sorry. I did that accidentally. It happens in Epee when you get close to each other. Back where they've been for most of the fight, on the back line.
It's the Polish team office back there. And Trzebinska was just waiting, took a nice counter 6, took the blade, and hit.
One away from gold here in Kazan. And there it is. A tremendous victory built on an early lead for the team from Poland. Aleksandra Jarecka, Ewa Trzebinska and Renata Knapik-Mizga claim gold in Kazan for the Polish team. It's been a great day for the Korean team as well. They've jumped into the top 4. They've claimed the silver medal here at the final Olympic qualifier for Epee. I think they'll go away from this scratching their heads a little bit about the tactics in the final, but very happy with the outcome overall. Poland take gold in the women's team Epee. Amazing match, Jeff.
Great match, and very impressed with the Polish team. All 3 fencers fenced great, and they were all very comfortable at their end of the piece. They knew Korea was coming, but there was nothing Korea could do about it.
Well, it is gold for Poland, silver for Korea. It was the Chinese who dominated the bronze medal match over Russia, and that completes the podium. Olympic qualification finish like this. China